Good evening. Mike Mentor, how's it going? John Capone, good evening. Kevin, how are you doing? Dennis Smith, how are you, sir? Harmon, Mike, you're still truck shopping. Yeah, you gotta love that. Hey, Sunchase, what's up? Tonight's live feed is brought to you by Super String Theory. If you guys watched my last vlog, that's the music that you heard. Except for the very beginning, that's apnea. GoPro Live. It says, Gary, what's up? Big Getty, how's it going? Angel, how are you? Angel, you gave me a Facebook friend request, didn't you? I'll have to confirm. John Capone is truck shopping. What are you thinking about getting there, John? Kevin says I'm watching Carlos Bakery. What's that? Trucker Steve in PA says, hey, I love the GoPro vlog. I appreciate that, guys. You only don't like about the GoPro? Hey, TJ Jones. Hey, look at that. You got a wrench now there, TJ. Okay, Angel, I'll confirm it. There's a lot of mysterious females that ask for friend requests, and they're usually spam bots. But I didn't delete yours because I didn't know. So, TK, what's up? TK's got a wrench now. John says found the nice 2013 Freightliner Cascadia. Excellent. Little tip, for anybody buying a used truck, get the DPF cleaned out. You, Ike, and Esso are live. Well, yeah, I knew Ike was live. I don't follow Matt anymore. Nothing against him personally, but I just, when he stopped trucking, I just, really didn't have a reason to follow him. I know he's back in the trucking. Oh, Kevin, I'm sorry, I forgot. Anybody want, okay, if I know you, comment on my vlog, my GoPro vlog, and while I got the laptop here, I'll approve you guys tonight or in the morning. Anyways, if you're buying a used truck, get the DPF clean. That way you're starting fresh. The Cascadias are known to have the one box go out. At Schneider, during orientation, they told us, they tell everybody, because I think I was the only one in the group that didn't have a Freightliner. And they talked about the one box. And the one box can cost anywhere from 10 to 13 grand if it goes out. Usually, and it's not warranty covered. And now, 90% of the stuff that makes the one box go out is covered under warranty. So usually it gets paid for, but everybody I know that's had a Cascadia for more than 300,000 or 400,000 miles ends up replacing that one box. Big Yeti says DPF clean, extended warranty. Yes, sir. Do you get trolls, Steve? Not too many. It's not like Ike or Will in any of them. Good first GoPro vlog, Steve, says Big John. Thank you. Celtic Bar. My son's truck broke down this week. He had a flat on the trailer too, and an airbag on the trailer go too. A bad week for him. He had to go back to Springfield. Sorry to hear that, Celtic Bar. That's the problem with those prime trucks is the super singles. Once you're done, you're done. Super singles are not a good idea. I know he doesn't have control of that, but all the fuel savings that you have is wiped out with one on-side road repair. TJ says, well, I'm locked and loaded, Nerf gun, multi-dart action, baby. Right? Rhymes with orange. Yeah, thank you. Nice video today, Steve. Thanks. Dan Smith, what's up? I didn't know if that vlog would do well because of the length. And I don't like the audio. That's the only thing I don't like about the GoPro is the audio. The audio is not that great. And if you guys notice, I'm still using Windows Movie Maker. That's all I know. I know the GoPro came with something, but I haven't looked at it yet. I use the GoPro app on my phone as far as like, you guys have seen me use that on my vlogs. Machine, what's up, man? How you doing? There's my daughter. It's Rowan.
Yeah, I'm pretty great.
Yeah, she's pretty great. She's got herself some cotton candy. We went out to eat tonight, and she got some cotton candy. Pale Rider, what's up, man? How you doing, my friend? I see you're going to Springfield, Ohio. Celtic Barb said it was a starter. Christian Trucker asks, is there anything you don't like about your KW? Yes. I'm limited on engine work to the dealerships. When I asked the dealership what's the difference between a PACCAR and a Cummins, they said a Cummins can be fixed in any Cummins shop, and most shops, whereas a PACCAR has to go to a Peterbilt or Kenworth dealership. So my check engine light that's on, I have to go to a dealership because the normal shop that I use doesn't have the software to read what's going on with the PACCAR. And I told them maybe they need to invest in that because they know I don't like going to Kenworth. Nothing against Kenworth here in Springfield, but they're always super busy, super busy. That's why I haven't done it yet. Somebody on Facebook told me to get a code reader so I at least know what's going on, and I haven't done that yet. I'm watching my neighbor across the street. He's watering his lawn.
He waters his lawn with a lot.
He's got one of them headlamps on, and he's watering his lawn. It's like dark outside.
Yeah, he waters his lawn.
Pale Rider, I'm sorry you're having a bad day, dude. What's going on, man? Everybody say hey to Pale Rider.
Hi, Pale Rider.
Welcome back, says PACCAR is a Cummins, just different colors. Yeah, well, Cummins shops, I haven't really tried talking to them, but, Mike Mentor asked how the plate's coming. I'm still in kind of a limbo. I was told not to be in a hurry because, well, Jeff's hit a snag on the insurance, so we're just kind of waiting to see what happens with that. I still want to get my plates, but I'm not in a huge hurry now. And I'm still at that point where they told me to email them. I emailed them, then they told me to call, and I called them, they told me to email. I'm still in that area. Now, Russell texted me and gave me a good suggestion. I might try that, but I have to wait till business hours to really kind of start looking over that. So a little bit of research is what I need to do. So that's what's happening with the plates. No progress on that. I've got the money, I just don't have the form, and I don't know if I have all the documents I need. Because there might be an issue with my property tax receipt. Dakota asks, does your Kenworth get better fuel mileage than your Peterbilt? Yes, it does. In my latest vlog, there's one point in the video where I was getting 8.1, and towards the end of the video I was getting 9.1, I think. I got as high as 9.2 with the load I've got. I got a good tailwind, and I keep my foot out of it, guys. Very rarely do I run 70. Now, with that being said, I met up with a YouTuber. His name's Adam B. Check him out on YouTube. Okay, he's another Snyder IC that just started doing vlogs. Okay, I was rolling down south on 39, I-39 in Illinois, and I hear, "Hey, Snowlord" on the CB, and I passed a Snyder driver that was coming off the ramp, and he owns he bought one of the company trucks. He paid a decent price for him, but he's an IC, and he was doing pretty good. So I ran about 70 to keep up with him while we chatted on the CB, and then when he got on 74, I got on 55. We parted ways, but he just uploaded a video. So everybody go subscribe to Adam B. He's going to start doing some vlogging about the Schneider program. So TJ says he's stuck in Ohio, I bet. I know he was on his way to Ohio. Pale Rider, that is. Dude, you got to get that light checked. Yeah, Christian Trucker, John Capone asks, are you leaving Big Orange? There's a plan in the works, but it's not because I'm not happy at Schneider. It's just the next step. If you go watch my coffee story time video, it's kind of announced there. But no, I'm still happy at Schneider, guys. As I said in my grass video, sometimes it's hard because, I think Jeff in his latest video said he cleared 10 grand in the last 10 days. It's unreal, man. It's unreal. Unreal what the spot market is doing right now. But John Capone, as of right now, I'm still here, and I'm still digging it. Pale Rider says steer tire, 2-hour backup in West Virginia, no empty trailer customer. One of those days. I'm sorry, Pale Rider. It's what I call video game day, when everybody just kind of, here's what a video game day is, guys. When the first time I was ever on a simulator at a trucking school, it was when I was doing a Train the Trainers class in Neo Show. And they put you on a simulator, and anybody who's at Schneider, you've been on that simulator too. And so you get in the simulator, and there's a guy at the computer, and he like, okay, bring in the fog, bring in the rain, bring in the snow. All right, now throw objects in front of him. Sometimes that's how the day is out here. You're sitting there, and it's like someone goes, okay, it's going to start raining. All right, bring in the backup. Okay, now make it snow for about 5 minutes real intense. Okay, now 3 cars will cut them off. Okay, now when you get to the customer, that's going to be difficult. It's like, I call them video game days. And it's just Pale Rider's having one of those days. So, suppose you will save, Mike Mentor asks, suppose you'll save money if you keep using Schneider's for the time being. Yeah, I mean, the cost is about the same. The only difference is that Schneider takes out $38 a week. If I get my Missouri plates, it'll be all at once, and then I won't get charged $38 a week. Because once I get my plates, I still got to deal with Schneider, as far as calling them up and say, hey, I got my own plates now, and giving them all the documentation there. That way, I'm not double paying. But everybody go to Adam B. Maybe he'll come in here and check things out. If he does, then. And also the Machine. I started talking to him this week. Godfather will straighten you out. Machine. Jeff's got some really good information. The only problem is that each state is different, and so. So I've got some owner-operator friends in Missouri that are supposed to be helping me out. I just haven't had a chance to because I've been busy. And, I got home late afternoon yesterday, or actually early evening. And, so like anything dealing with government business I can't do until, Monday morning I'll probably look into something because I got to load an Ardmore. I got to deliver an Ardmore Monday night, so I'll have a little bit of time Monday morning. Wow, Snow Lord, you look like guitar playing son of a gun. Hey, it's Thomas. How are you tonight? Hey, when are you going to play guitar again? I'll do some guitar stuff eventually. Pale Rider, Christian Trucker and Pale Rider are talking. What motor did you have in your Peterbilt? I had a Cummins. ISX, who's a 2009 Peterbilt. For the most part, it did all right. I'm used to a Cummins. 90% of my trucking career has been with the Cummins. I had a Volvo with a Volvo engine for about 2 months, and I had a Peterbilt with a Cat engine for about 2 months. And then the rest of the time it's been Cummins until my last truck at Transland. That was a PACCAR. And so when I went to the PACCAR again, it was kind of a, PACCARs shift different. Their shift points are different, and then when you get down to 10, 1,000 RPMs, it'll still pull. So you think you got a downshift and you actually don't. Tex Crowley, you might be in Springfield Friday and Saturday next week. Let me know, man. Maybe we need to do a new Life of a Trucker series with the new truck. I say new, I've had it, 8 months now? 6 months? Hey Harold, what's up? Christian Trucker says, I met Casanova today. He's going to work for the CIA. Jeffrey Lycan here? I didn't see him. Thomas says, I will be joining you in May of 2018. Joining me where? In Schneider? If so, that's cool. Christian Trucker says, hey Tex, I'm new to your channel this week. Cool stuff. Yeah, Tex, man, I've been promoting you. Those of you who don't know, Tex Crowley is one of the original trucking YouTubers. Never did the drama thing. And, his photography and videography is spot on. He knows how to get shots for the truck. And I saw him work his butt off at the truck show last weekend. And, go to his channel, you'll see the big rig burnouts and the stuff that he did. Tex Crowley is the master. All of us that do any kind of video vlogging or whatever on the trucking side owe something to Tex. And then also, if you go to his channel, he has a Life of a Trucker series, and I'm number 7 at. How many Life of a Truckers did you do, Tex? So what are you up to now? And if you're in his area, he'll do one for you. It's like a little, little mini documentary, like 3 or 4 minute documentary. And and what Tex did is he got some footage of me. He was still driving a truck then, and he mounted his GoPro in the back of his trailer. I was with Landstar at the time, and he had me follow him to get some road footage. And what's interesting is when we got in the truck stop, we were communicating with the CB, and he goes, "All right, follow me really close." I'm like, "Okay," and he goes, "No, uncomfortably close." And so I'm like, "Just don't hit your brake." And I was literally like, with the fisheye, it doesn't look like I'm that close, but in reality, I was like right on his bumper. And the TA at the time there in New Braunfels is wide open, so we have a lot of room to deal with. But it was a cool experience. Harold says, I can never watch anybody's live feed. It's just constant buffering. Have to catch replay. Okay, Harold. Sorry about that. Big Getty's in here. Tex Crowley just sub. Yeah, everybody sub to Tex Crowley. Follow Texomatic on Facebook as well. Hey Travis, what's up? Yeah, my numbers would probably be bigger if Ike and Will and everybody else wasn't live right now. I think Ike's going live for the first time on his main channel because he's been in YouTube jail. Hey Siraj, what's up? I think he's excited about that. Michael Dow, what's up, Snorlord? I thought about you earlier when I cruised by Dimebag's house earlier. So you must be in Texas, right? I have yet to see the grave. I tried to talk Steve Berger into going to the Dallas Truck Show, and then I said after the truck show we can go check out Dimebag's grave, but he doesn't like Texas. John Capone, did you get good mileage with the Cummins? The truck I'm looking at has a Cummins ISX and the 13-speed. John, the 13-speed is going to get better fuel mileage than the 10 on the Cummins. It just depends on how it's dialed. If you can keep it around 13 and a half on the RPMs, that's your sweet spot on the fuel mileage. For most trucks. I kept my Peterbilt at about 62, 63 miles an hour. And I got pretty decent for that old of a truck. I was always in the 7s. So I didn't see no 8 or 9s unless I was empty or bobtailing, but yeah, the 13 speeds get better fuel mileage because you can find, it's like fine tuning a 10 speed, I guess, for lack of a better term. And that's just what I've heard. I've never driven a 13 speed, but I've heard that, just going up that extra half gear is like, it gives you that extra pull up going up hills and stuff. So Ricky Shannon, what's up, man? Rhymes with Orange. Christian Trucker, been enjoying your channel. Good info. Yep, everybody subscribe to Christian Trucker. He puts out his numbers once a week. His stuff's pretty positive. And he's a Schneider IC with the Schneider Finance truck. So, and he's the single breadwinner at his house. So, he proves that it can be done. You just got to track your numbers. That's the theme, guys. Whether you own your own truck or you got a Schneider Finance truck, you got to do the numbers. And at the time that I was at Landstar, I kept track somewhat of my numbers, but I didn't keep track of everything. And I think that if Schneider had not been an option, that I would have done better. I'd be doing better there now because of the things that Jeff has taught me. You got to go from being and Steve Berger and I talked about this, you got to go from being, you go from being a truck driver to a guy that owns the truck, so you feel like, oh, I'm a truck owner, and then you got to start treating it like a business, and then you start feeling like a business, so driving becomes secondary. So now, where I used to not keep track of my numbers, now I'm more like almost not obsessed, but like I'm really kind of like watching them. They're almost fun now. I like using that program, the Trucking Pro program. It's kind of like I type everything in, and I can't wait to hit that report to see how good or bad I'm doing. So, maybe so. Going to be working a cattle sale there. Okay, Tex. Yeah, that's probably off of 44 there, around exit 670, around exit 70, somewhere around there. Latex, what's up? Christian Trucker says, watch that long coach video. He really laid it out. Yes, he did. I'm not going to get involved in the drama stuff. I got a little shot from Eric in that live feed. It's I talked about it on the grass video. There's a lot of things going on over there, and if Traveloka would just start their own YouTube video channel and just put out their own videos, they could counteract all the negative stuff that's going on. They could counteract all the bad numbers or good numbers or whatever numbers that are floating around. And there won't be, here's what I've heard, okay? The day after my Grass is Greener video, I talked to 2 different Schneider drivers, okay? And both of these drivers, I'm not going to name them, but both of these drivers told me that their ICAs mentioned that all the Schneider Finance guys that went over to Traveloka, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are coming back. And that goes to the reality check that I was talking about, how running the spot market is a lot different than what we do here. What we do here is simplify the click and go system And if you're in the right area and you know the right customers and you know the trailer pool, you can do very well. It's very simple. It's a simple process. Now, it's a lot simpler for me because I went from making all the phone calls and everything at Landstar to coming over here. So it was like, wow, I just, laid in my bunk and booked 4 loads. You can't do that at on the spot market. I mean, you can, but there's a lot at risk, So, so reality probably set in on a lot of them. And then a lot of them probably didn't read their, people, you need to read their lease contracts. You need to read what the hidden fees are going to be. OIDA has a service where they'll read you the contract and they'll kind of put it in layman's terms. And they'll tell you whether it's a good deal or not. They'll tell you what to look out for, and they'll also tell you if other drivers have had issues with them. So my cats are going berserk because there's a moth in the house. So, but yeah, Trucker's Coach really put it out there, and he talked about his experience at Traveloco, and some of the things that he said I've heard from other drivers. So, but again, Traveloco is just like Snyder and Landstar. It's all on how you run your business. I just got a text from somebody on Facebook talking about how he thought Traveloco was a good company, but only if you have your own truck and trailer. And see, that seems to be a theme, guys. Whether you're at Landstar, Traveloco, Schneider, keeping your costs down, that's the key. That's the key, because it gives you more flexibility, plain and simple. I mean, the numbers are doable, but you're going to work a little bit harder. So at Landstar, you didn't pay for a trailer unless they didn't charge you a trailer rental fee. But if you have your own, you make a higher percentage, so in a way you're kind of paying for it. Every time I looked into buying a trailer at Landstar, Steve over there in Indy at the Indy Orientation Center, he helped me do the math, and he said basically the trailer pays for itself. And then once the trailer's paid off, then you just keep your revenue from the truck the same, and then once the trailer's paid off, then there's that extra money. So, and you got a trailer. So, Mr. Arturo, where do I get a used Prime truck? Right now, check any of the MHC Kenworth dealerships, TLG dealerships, except for the one in South Bend. Don't go there. They're all in the system right now because all the first 680s that were released in 2014 are all hitting the used market right now. MHC Kenworth has got a lot of them. MHC Kenworth also has a lot of ex-CFI trucks. They just bought a batch of trucks. I don't know anything about their shops or anything, so I can't vouch for them, but Prime, Steve Berger talked to somebody that gave him some info on what Prime does before they turn those lease trucks over to the used dealerships. And then also there's Pedigree, which is Prime's used truck dealership. They got trucks for sale, so that would be a good place to start as well. I thought Jay Cannell is the master. Jay Cannell is he's definitely one of the heavyweights in the YouTube trucking world, but Tex is one of the originals. Nothing against Jay Cannell. I'm glad Jay Cannell's kid is getting better. If you guys have been keeping up with that, he was having a scary moment there for a minute. But Jay Cannell is definitely the master at YouTube algorithms and AdSense and all the different analytics. He did a really good video that kind of opened my eyes on a lot of stuff, and I think he's been coaching Pale Rider on a lot of things. So, Tex Crowley says, thanks. Number 7, I have 22 and we'll have potentially 2 more soon. Yep, he's up to 22. I'm number 7. He laid it all out. All right, he is an idiot, says Big Eddie. See, here's the thing, guys. Big Eddie, Kevin and Ollie, Yukon Cornelius, they're doing well at Traveloco, okay? Whenever someone gets on there and tells you their experience with the company, you have to take that with a grain of salt. If you go to Truckers Report, they even tell you that. Just like Prime. Prime gets a lot of flack. I know people that have done very well at Prime, and I know people that have lost their house working for Prime, okay? It's all on your numbers. It's all about keeping your costs down. And Big Yeti, if I'm not mistaken, you got your own truck. You're not leasing through Traveloco, correct? Michael Dallas says, I like the coach, but he's getting a little out of hand in my opinion. The only thing I'm going to say about that is I had that one video that I went against him because I didn't like the way he was trying to recruit for Traveloco. He was creating fear mongering, I guess, for lack of a better term, with the Schneider guys. And he was very aggressive in his recruiting for Traveloco. They all were. Ike and Will and Coach were all aggressive on the recruiting. And I just went against Coach to tell him that I didn't like his method of how he sends his message. Not once have I ever seen any of the local guys sit there and say, hey, this is how I look for my loads. This is the kind of money I'm making over a month period. And this is how the process is. All we heard was, hey, come over here, come over here, come over here. It's great, it's great, it's great. And I don't do that. I tell you guys the reality of the situation when it comes to Snyder. When it came to Landstar, too. I told you guys, my ups and downs and how things were done. I didn't really go in the low board at Landstar too much. Sorry, guys. Opening the door for the dog. But not one of them, none of the Traveloco guys have sat there and said, this is how I go about finding my freight. Well, no, I take that back. Yukon did. Yukon actually went on his channel. Okay, Yukon, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Yukon went on his channel and he showed the DAT board and what he does and what he looks for and how he's doing it. And he's the only one out of all the Traveloco people that have done that I know of. I could be wrong. There could be other videos I haven't watched. I know Big Yeti's got a channel. Kevin's got a channel, but he just started, so, Dan says, true, Michael Dow just left his channel, tired of the drama and no coaching. Yeah, that's the thing, man. The drama is a big turnoff with a lot of YouTubers. There's a lot of truck drivers that won't touch Traveloco because of the drama. Plain and simple. Traveloco has lost a lot of respect with a lot of people because of the big YouTubers and all the squabbling that's been going on. And that's sad. And Eddie's finding out the hard way that this YouTube thing is a double-edged sword. And I think that they're understaffed too. I think Eric's got too much on his plate. I've got a follower that texted me. He's got his own authority in 19 trucks, and he's got like 4 people working for him. That's 19 trucks. So imagine what you got: 2 people trying to control 80 or 90 trucks, whatever Traveloco has. They need to take some of that money they're making and expand as far as like office personnel. But there's a lot of people that don't respect YouTube truckers because of the drama stuff. So, if Coach would have said his piece on what was going on with Traveloco, that's one thing, but but now it's an ongoing thing, and SoCal's gotten involved, and somehow Jeffrey Like's name got dragged through this, even though he has nothing to do with either one of them. And all of it is digital noise. Remember, you guys, I told you about my video positivity, that it's all just digital noise, and you got to ignore it. And so, Pale Rider, Christian Trucker, Tex Crowley, they give you videos about trucking. They don't do the drama thing. When Ike and Will are doing their trucking vlogs, I like them. I love them. Ike chooses good music. Ike and I get along with a lot of the music stuff. And when they're doing their honest to goodness trucking vlogs, they're just as good as anybody else. But the late night live feeds where they're fighting against each other, and granted, both sides have reason to be fighting. But see, that's the problem though, is private lives need to be separated. I deleted all my Landstar videos because of a troll that was talking about one of my friends that was killed, and I regret doing that now because the troll actually kind of won. But I had a lot of people say, "Hey, dude, don't give up your channel." But in a way, I kind of realized, I put myself out here. I put myself out there, and you're gonna have trolls that are gonna say some stupid, rude stuff. And being in a band, I've already got experience with separating the artist from the art. There's a lot of musicians and actors and actresses that you probably wouldn't like them as people, but you enjoy their art. YouTube is the same way. And I give Ike and Will respect on their vlogs. But the other stuff, Trucker's Coach, I don't know. I think the problem with Trucker's Coach is that the title in his handle is Coach, okay? So there are a lot of people that do their businesses differently, okay? Jeffrey Like is a very well-known, very solid businessman, but there's a lot of people that think he's full of it, okay? Because people disagree. SoCal doesn't like the way Jeffrey Like does his business, and not doesn't like, but SoCal and Jeffrey Like do their businesses completely different, okay? But see, Jeffrey Like is Jeffrey Like, and SoCal is SoCal. Neither one of them are calling themselves a title like, Jeffrey Like's got the nickname Godfather, but that's something that the Schneider guys have given him because he was the master over at Schneider. He was, simply put. But when you give yourself a title of like a coach or something, there's a lot of expectations on you. And if a lot of people think that you're wrong or you don't know what you're talking about, it really kind of it magnifies that. Like if I said, if I named my YouTube channel Biggest Trucking Expert, there's a lot of people that would laugh. Like, Steve, you're not an expert. You're kind of an idiot. So, and I think that's where Coach gets a lot of flack. He has some good points. He has some decent advice here and there. But he's no different than any of the other trucking YouTubers, and he calls his thing a community, which is fine. And that's great. And I like the fact that he wants to help other drivers. However, that name Coach is what kind of gets him in trouble. Because people expect more from a coach, quote unquote. I have nothing against the guy. I was in his last couple of live feeds, making comments and engaging the conversation. When Eric got in the phone call with that big long Travel Loco thing, I talked about how Schneider was only charging $1 for cash advances, and he, Eric kind of took a shot at me. So, And I had Coach ask, Eric a few questions. So it's not like we hate each other. It's not like I'm going to do a video. And let the record show that the video that I did, making my remarks about how Coach's methods of the recruiting he was doing at the time, I didn't put his name in the title, and I made the video private, and I eventually deleted it, simply because I didn't want that drama out there. But I think Coach brings a lot of it on himself, like when he went against Traveloco the first time. See, that's the thing. This is the second time he's gone against them. So that can be a problem too. There should be some videos that he should delete, but he keeps everything up there, which I admire his honesty on that. But Dan, I think you're correct. Here's if Coach is watching, here's what I would do. When you start booking your freight, show us how that's being done. Show how it is to work your own authority. Show us how you're going to go through your first DOT audit. Show us all that stuff. Be informative on how you're booking for freight, looking for freight, how you're booking, how you make your decisions, who the brokers you call, who the ones you don't call, what kind of rates you're getting. That's the kind of stuff that people want to see from a coach, okay? And I understand his warnings about Traveloco, but that's just his experience, and he's said that over and over. So not everybody's experience at company, like there are Snyder guys that hate it here. There are Snyder guys that have left here and will never look back. But I'm doing well here, so, knock on wood. So I admire his honesty on calling out the Traveloco thing, but at the same time, now tell us how you're running your business. Tell us how you're finding your freight, that kind of thing. That is what I would like to see from Coach's channel. So, Tex Rowley says Pale Rider's not my dad. Okay. You guys are talking about Pale Rider. There's this weird rumor that Pale Rider is Tex Crowley's dad, but because I guess Tex Crowley's dad looks just like Pale Rider. But, alright, Tex, gotta run, be good. Alright, he calls us kids. I think I'm a little bit older than he is, to be honest. Big Yeti, come on. He says, me too, folks. Sub to everyone who has channel set me, I'm not worthy. Big Yeti did a really good video about positivity. And he's trying to do this positivity thing like everybody else is, like Thor, and let's do that. So everybody go to Big Yeti, subscribe to his channel. So Michael Dow says, yeah, Dan, don't agree with no-code business practice, but the coach has no right on trying to tell him how to run it. That's true, Michael Dow. And see, that's the thing. When you come across... See, there's a good way to say things and there's a bad way to say things. For example, okay, my lovely wife, okay? I'm sitting here on my computer, and her and the kids are getting ready to do all this yard work, right? And she said, hey, you ought to, it'd be nice if, do you want to join us? It's a family thing. And
I heard you talking about it.
and, and she invited me, and it took me enough intelligence, like, you know what, I should probably do that, because that would make me an a-hole if I sat there and I was on the computer while they were all doing housework, or yard work. And then the kids, that wouldn't be a good impression on the kids. So I went in, we got a lot done. So there's but she could have been like, you need to go outside and do the yard work. She didn't do that. There's a right way to tell people things. There's a wrong way to tell people things. And she told me the right way, and guess what? She got results. Hey? So.
I'm a master manipulator.
Yeah.
I love you, and I wanted to be nice.
Flush time. You guys are talking college football. Mr. Arturo, do you have a maintenance fund on your own truck with Schneider IC? No, not with Schneider. I save up that money myself. The reason being is I don't need anybody else to hold my money for me, Mr. Arturo. So, but no, I just keep that money aside on my own. It's to my discretion. So, in a lot of ways, we're kind of the bastard children at Schneider because we're kind of out of the network. To get some work done in the shops is kind of a pain in the butt because, we're not Schneider Finance. But the whole third-party thing kind of messes with them, especially if you don't have a Freightliner. If you have a Freightliner, it's a little bit easier. Cascadia, that is. But no, we have to save that ourselves. Christian Trucker says, I'm a Razorback fan. Christian Trucker, let me ask you something. Razorback fans are just... Man, they're dedicated people, man. I've got a lot of friends in Northwest Arkansas. And man, they eat that up, man. They're just like, if they lose, they're all depressed at work the next day, and it's like someone shot their dog. It's are you like that? Christian Trucker, what about the NFL? Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Live chat froze on me. Larry Fisher. Well, someone tell him to close it out and then come back in. Anybody, if you're watching a live feed and it freezes up, get the window a little and then swipe it and then go back to notifications and enter, and that usually does the trick. So, Anthony Tillman says Indiana Jack seems to be doing well at Loco, also has his own trailer as well. Indiana Jack is a perfect example of what to do. He got his own trailer. And he doesn't get involved in any of it. He's kind of separate. Everybody forgets that he's over there. And he just tells about his experiences like a true trucking vlog should. There's two kinds of trucking vlogs, or should be. One is informative, and two is just like, here's my day, here's how it is. And I like doing both. People keep telling me that my live chats are informative. I'm not sure why, because I'm not an expert. I can just tell you what experiences I have and what my opinions are on certain things and what has worked for me. But yeah, Indiana Jack is doing well, but that's the point though. Big Yeti, Indiana Jack, they got their own trucks, they got their own trailers. That's the way to go to any company. CJ's back. Harry, what's up? Is that Yoda in the background? Yes, it is. It's a Star Wars calendar. Dog, no thumbs. Yeah, it's from Empire Strikes Back. It's a scene where Luke is doing his training with Yoda, and he's talking to him while he's on his little backpack. Is he hug? No, he's on like a little backpack, like a little kid carrier. Too many YouTube personalities at Loco. And that's the other thing, guys. YouTube truckers are no different than regular truckers in the sense that you get 10 of them in a room and they're not going to agree on anything. It's the same thing. It's just on a grander scale. There are people that will give thumbs down to this video because they don't like what I have to say. They don't like what I'm preaching. They don't like what I'm talking about. And that's fine. But when I'm at the counter at the TA at the truck stop, I don't talk this much. So I tend to be a listen and learn kind of guy. And if there's a conversation worth having, I'll interject. But for the most part, I just kind of sit there and just smile to myself while the rest of everybody makes fools of themselves. Jeffrey Like is a good guy, says Anthony Tillman. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And that's the other thing. SoCal did a live video the day after Coaches about Trouble Loco. And he goes, now I realize why everybody got mad at me for including Jeffrey Like with Trucker's Coach. Because they're two completely different people. And he actually gave an apology to Jeffrey Like, which is cool. So, but then, why does he have to interject about Trucker's Coach? Well, I just did the same thing. So, But it's all about being positive. If you look at Thor, he did a video with showing all these different YouTubers, and I know that there's a couple on there that he hasn't got along with, but he's trying to get along with everybody. He's trying to create this environment of positivity, which is what trucking needs. Like I said, I have no problem with Coach. I think all I can do is analyze the situation from the outside, and I think that the name Coach kind of gets him in trouble because there's a lot of people that are going to call him out on his stuff, especially when the drama's getting thick. They like to pick on Jeffrey because he's a no BS, no drama zone, Larry Fisher says. Yeah. And that's the thing. Jeffrey Like has got a modern trucking business plan. And so the guys that want to do the payoff older trucks don't agree with some of his methods. And he looks at it from a business, whereas a lot of truck owners look at it like, I own this, kind of a thing. And I think he gets a lot of flack. There's a lot of people that didn't call him that said he's not a true business owner because he signed on to a mega carrier leasing a truck, and that's not the case. He's got a business and he's making money. Watch his videos of when he's at home. He's got a good life, man. He's got a good life. And he's been doing it for 23 years. So there's not a whole lot he doesn't know. But he's got enough sense that, like, if you call him and he'll analyze your situation independently and say, okay, this is what you need. He's like a good consultant on no matter what you're doing. And if there's something you don't know, he'll tell you, I don't know. Stretch says, I like Coach, takes balls to live feed today. Yeah, I give him credit, man. Him going against Eddie and Eric it's been kind of fascinating to watch. But at this point, I think it'd be more beneficial for him to just kind of let it go. He said his piece, and now start showing us how you're running your own authority. Now show us how you're booking freight. Show us the work that you did on the Schneider trailer. Let's go with the day-to-day trucking stuff because, eventually that's what people want to see. Whether they're truck drivers or not, they want to see how you're running your business. I think that would be cool. Christian Trucker says, I enjoy watching our YouTube soap opera. Christian Trucker brings up a good point. It's getting them feeds, man. It's getting them views. There's a lot of people that sit there and say, oh, we don't like the drama, but yet they're watching, I still subscribe to Will and Ike and Trucker's Coach, and I've been known to pop up in all their feeds. Because you know why? I'm not taking any sides on any of it. Because there's no reason. Like, Dave, 404 Dave, the whole Trucker Logic, Bill Hunter thing, I did not see the point to that. And I wanted to kind of, comment on one of his videos, and it's like, dude, don't get involved in this because, just make solid trucking vlogs, man. There's no who cares who Trucker Logic is? Who cares who Bill Hunter is? And, there's a lot of YouTubers I don't even watch because one reason or another. I like watching Will and Ike's vlogs when they're, because they mix music with driving footage and how they went about their day. When Ike was doing the Bellafour stuff, that was cool. And if you guys notice, my vlog is in the style of what they do. Pale Rider, Ike, and Will, their vlogging style is kind of what I went for with that first GoPro vlog I did. So that's what everybody should focus on. Let's focus on the things that make this trucking industry work. If Ike's having problems to travel loco, or if Will's having problems at home, let's not bring that in, because in the end, it's all just digital noise. A year from now, we're going to forget all of this. A year from now, nobody's going to care. And the gal that Will was hanging out with at the truck show, she's been kind of like, I think, who was it? trying to remember the YouTuber, but that's friends with her, said that she like deleted her Facebook or Instagram. She completely went off the grid. And, her name's tarnished, whether she was involved in it or not, simply because of this vortex of drama. And, so I like Thor's approach, man. He's like, hey, let's all just get along. And 28. And, let's... and here's the thing. If you guys got smaller YouTube channels, like myself, go to the other live feeds and just interject and say positive things, and people will see that and they'll subscribe. My sub count has gone up, because if you guys notice, man, I've shown up in Coach's live feeds. I've shown up in Ike's live feeds. In fact, I'm a moderator on his live feed. I've shown up in Will's live feed. And, and if I could say something positive, I will. If not, I just kind of watch. I left Zello because of the negativity. I left Zello because of that. In my Facebook feed, I have filtered a lot of the negativity out. So, that's what we need to do. So, Michael Dallas says, I follow Jeff more than anyone. He helped me at SFI, and he helped me with my MC number. No drama, very informative. Right, Michael Dallas. And he gets criticized a lot with his charging for the mentorship. And I think he gets a lot of flack for that because people see that because of all the money thing that happened with like Coach wanting donations and Matt getting donations and Will getting donations. It's like, And once he has your number and once you've paid for that consultation fee, you're in there, man. And that consultation fee pays for itself because you're paying for a consultation that will help your business, especially if you're at Schneider, especially if you're getting the owner authority. And I think it's worth it. And he has to charge for his time. He's a busy guy. We're good friends, but there are times when I don't talk to him for 2 or 3 days because he's probably getting inundated with phone calls. Because you guys got to remember, he's still running a business. He still has to call brokers. He still has to book his freight and do his back office work. And now he's got Gear Grabber in there. And so he's a busy dude. So yeah, he needs to charge a little bit for people he doesn't know. Because time is money, and he can't spend like an entire Saturday doing consultation and not get paid for it because time is money. So, but all the other YouTubers that ask for money and are trying to sell products of themselves at a ridiculously high price, it's just. It's become a little business within itself, and then all the money begging stuff that has occurred with all the drama types has really kind of like, if you even mention money, people get irate about it. So Michael Dow says, Mike must be my military background, 23 years being a trucker. Harry Ball says, the coach name is a big responsibility, but I don't think he sees it that way. I agree, Harry. I think that's the problem. And, that's all I got to say about that. I have nothing against Coach whatsoever, but I think that a lot of the flack that he gets, he's brought on himself. And again, if he just focus on how he puts his information out there and focus on showing us how he runs his business, I think that would, lead by example. So, Michael Dow says, I think that Coach is more worried about the Hollywood side than being an owner-operator, transitioning to a personality star. I like and respect him, but he's getting big-headed. That's Michael Dow's opinion. Christian Trucker says, Coach hates Schneider, LOL. Yeah, Eric took a couple of shots at me too. Ryan's with Orange. TC is a good source for company driver information. That's what he knows. Unfortunately, he is too unpolished to be taken seriously. Is painful to watch. That's the other thing, Coach. If you're watching this, when you're talking about a specific subject, you got to ignore the comments. And I tell other people this. I told Steve this when he went live for his first time. I tell everybody this when they go live for the first time. Don't read the comments until you've made your point, because you'll get distracted. And then it'll go off key. When Ike and Will and Coach and Jeffrey were all going live for the first time, back when I did my parody, that's how it was. Everybody was getting sidetracked with the comments. Now, and I want to say that I would hope that my parody kind of helped, but it kind of focuses. When I want to talk about something, tonight's a little bit different because it's just a general Q&A. You can ask me anything about guitars, music, trucking, what I had for dinner, any of that. But like, if I want to talk about a specific subject, what do, guys? I talk about it, and then I go, okay, let's go back to the comments. That's how it should be done. Because, that way you're focused. You guys have seen me have brain farts, too. So, yeah, the is kind of, I try not to do it, but I've been known to do it myself. Ron says, Coach is a joke, tired of hearing about the loser. Okay, Ron, we won't talk about him anymore. He changed his topics too much, says Harry. And I don't want to turn this into a coach bashing session because I don't want to put that out there. There's a lot of people that agree with him, and there are a lot of people that don't agree with him. There are people in this feed that are moderators on his channel. Like I said, I have nothing personally against the guy. And he can run his YouTube channel however he wants. But if he'll take constructive criticism, I've said the things that I needed to say. And I'm no expert. I'm not like Mr. YouTube expert. I'm just telling you from a fan's perspective. Like when I write music, I kind of write music that suits me, but then I also look at it from a fan's perspective. Like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do this riff 8 measures because... if I was a fan, I'd want to just get to the next part, that kind of thing. And so, I think that's why I made out to be a decent trainer, is because I still understood the CDL school guys, and I wasn't jaded like these old guys that don't know what the new guys are going through. And I still remember, don't forget your roots, kind of thing. So, Bree says, I agree, Steve, and I also think Rhymes is right. He's unpolished and it's painful to watch. He has some good points, but yeah, and you would hope that he'll get better at that. Latex says, I got worried when Pale Rider ran after the bandit's car. I didn't want him to get hurt himself. Pale Rider worked his butt off, dude. I watched, man. Just the 4 hours that we were there, he was all over the place. Tex worked him good, but Tex rewarded him with a nice tall beer and a big steak about yay big. So, Christian Trucker, I haven't been watching his stuff till Snorler told me to watch the Travel Loco video. Anthony Tillman, positivity is good to show, but there is such a thing as doing too much without showing some of the bad, I'm assuming. Yeah. I've been known to show the bad. Anybody who remembers my Landstar days, here's the thing, man. Pale Rider and I talk about this all the time. If things are going bad, you're going to hear about it. If things are going good, you're going to hear about it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Schneider is all rainbows and unicorns, as Pale Rider put it. However, a lot of the negativity in any company is brought on by the driver themselves. And if I have a bad day, I'll tell you I had a bad day. If I had a bad week, I'll tell you I had a bad week. And if somebody asks me privately, hey, how much money do you average? I tell them the average. I don't say, oh, dude, I made $3,000 last week. Man, I'm awesome. Well, what'd you make the next 2 weeks? Oh, $500. I'm not like that. So I try to be real. That term's being thrown around a lot. All these other YouTubers are like, oh, I'm real with you. I'm real. No, you're not. Because people need to see the bad times. People need to know what to prepare for when freight dries up, when the rates go down, when the fuel goes up. And, you know, like my last vlog, my little GoPro vlog I did. Dude, I sat all day waiting for the right load, and I got screwed on it. and I was able to salvage it, which is a good thing about Schneider. However, you know, I don't sit there and like, oh, everything is going great, you know, I've never been that guy. But I try to put out positive energy. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and rag on a certain thing or something, you know, or whatever. You know, I want to warn people of bad companies, but who am I to say what a bad company is if I've never worked for them? See, that's the other thing. You know, if you research Landstar, there are guys that were doing Landstar comparison videos. Like there was a guy that he compared KLM, Landstar, Schneider, and Mercer. Do you know how many of those companies he worked for? KLM. and all four of these companies have a different business model. KLM is not the same as Landstar. Schneider is not the same as KLM. And it was like all he was trying to do was get the hits from the names of those companies. Now, Cannell did one comparing 5 companies, but he did his homework. He researched, did the homework, talked with drivers, and talked with the actual recruiters and told you the facts. But he didn't sit there and say, don't go to CRST or don't go to CR England. He didn't do that. He just said, this is what I found out about these 5 companies. And see, when you do it like that, that's cool. But when you sit there and use it as a recruiting tool, just like when Will did the video comparing Traveloka, RST, and Bellaflor. How can you compare those 3 companies? They're completely different business models. RST pays salary. Bellaflor is a company job with a lot of stops. And Traveloka is a book your own, almost your own authority type company. So why would you even compare? It's like, oh, I'm going to compare an apple to an orange to a banana. And that's exactly what that is. And now RST is getting a lot of flack again. Why? Because little guy went there. So all the guys that don't like Matt, what are they doing? They're bashing RST now. And that's the thing. Don't make fun of a driver based off who they work for. Why would you make fun of somebody on how they put food on the table? Why would you make fun of somebody on how they feed their family? Why would you do that? If you don't like Woody and whatever, then ignore him. If you don't like Matt, ignore him. Don't sit there and dog his company and compare your company to his when you've never worked for him. Don't do that. It's just like, you know, and I think that's why Coach gets in a lot of trouble, because he compares these companies he's never worked for. You're never going to see me do a video. I'm going to compare Schneider to Werner. You know why? Because I've never worked for Werner. I don't even know a Werner driver. You know, what am I going to do? Read a couple articles on YouTube or Facebook and then make my honest opinion? No. There's no point to that. And, you know, and all these people that, like, sit there, oh, you drive for Prime, I'm going to make fun of you. Well, if that's how he's feeding his family, then why make fun of that? You know? What would you rather that person be doing? Living off welfare? You'd make fun of him for that, too. So, you know, there's just no making people happy. Cobra, what's up, man? Could be positively negative, says Christian Trucker. Good. Was wondering if they require one. Oh, you talk about the maintenance program? No. Now, here's the thing, Mr. Arturo. If you can't fix your truck, because you don't have the money, then you're kind of screwed. If you're at Landstar will give you a loan the first couple of times to fix your truck. But Schneider won't do that. Schneider will help you with tires and let you, like, take it out of your settlement the next week or whatever. But like if your engine blows and you can't afford to fix it, you're SOL. So, but no, they don't require it. There's conflicting reports whether they require it even for the SFI guys. So, Fareed, sup Steve, it's Jason. Not gonna read that out loud. Speaking of wives hollering and screaming, there goes mine. LOL, see you snow earlier. Alright, Michael Dow, see you later. I'm probably like way behind on the comments, guys. I'm sorry. Go Blue, beat this. Okay, we're talking about football. Larry Fitch says, you don't have to be an expert to share personal experience. Right. And that's how I am. You know, a lot of people that went over to Landstar were like, oh, Steve, I like your videos because you're real. And you know, and I reveal a lot more on Periscope. If you guys don't follow me on Periscope, you know, Periscope I reveal a little bit more than I should probably. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. You know, but I am happy here. I really am. I really am. I love it. You know, it's there are headaches, but any company's going to have headaches. Damn cats are being weird again. Hold on, guys. All right. Sorry, guys. Michael Dow says, like you said, perception is reality. Right. Dan retracted a message. Christian Trucker officially turning channel from Bama game. Big John, Trucker Jukebox is working on a deal with XM Radio regarding his weekly radio show. I think I used to follow Trucker Jukebox, but I haven't in a while. Not sure why. Bree says, Steve, you come across as a good, as you come across well, a good flow, no and ah. You mix it up, also you modulate your voice, etc. Yeah, you know, when Trucker Exec was doing his live feeds, I could barely hear him. His audio, because, you know, he was like, so, what's up? He was like a mile away from the camera. Razorbacks won today. We're all saying hello. Hey, Groundhog, what's up? Orion, popping in to show the love. Back to work I go. No rest for the weary. Much love to you all. Troll on and share the love. Orion's a positive person. I like him. Got to meet him in Ardmore one day. Pretty nice guy. Gave him a CD. Jack is cool, says Christian Trucker. Cobra says, Coach thinks he knows it all. You keep it real, Snore. Yeah, that's the perception that people have. How do you deal with that perception? TJ says, are you off till Monday? Yeah. I'll leave out Monday morning. I deliver Monday night in Ardmore, and I don't have anything booked after that. I sat here and told you guys that the last minute booking thing has been working to my advantage, but it's a gamble. It bit me in the butt. After I delivered to Morris, I couldn't find what I wanted or what looked good, and I ended up sitting the whole day. I actually got a 34 because I never tripped my logs with the delivery in Morris. It's been crazy the last couple of days, last couple of months. Yeah. Larry Fisher says, how the business is ran, exactly what I want to see. Exactly. I've showed you guys my numbers. I could probably be honest with you. I could probably go into more on how I look for freight. Because Jeffrey had some good videos of how he looks for the short haul stuff, like back in the Schneider days. I could probably get into that a little bit more. But these live feeds, I think, have been really productive. And if there's a strategy that you want to go over, and that's the thing. That's the beauty about the choice program is it's up to you. Gary Compton, he does the long haul stuff, and and John Citrone, he does the short haul stuff. And it's just I'm kind of in the middle. I do a couple of shorties, a couple of longer ones, and then I'm good. And I'm still learning, so that's the other thing. I'm not, I didn't start off by telling you about your numbers, all that stuff when I first started, because I was learning as I go. That was the whole purpose of my vlogs. Hey, you want to see an idiot learn how to be an owner-operator? Here you go. Here's my channel. That's what I am. So, Larry Fish says, if there's too much drama in the channel, I get out. Yeah. Alaskan Cowboy, what's good, Steve? How you been, brother? I've been all right, man. Alaska, I've been checking out your channel. You too have got a GoPro, so I'm digging it, man. Everybody go subscribe to Alaskan Trucker. We need to get his numbers up there. And I'll admit, guys, the more subscribers you have, the more fun it is. So, Successful Trucking Channel. Hi, Steve. Hey, what's up? Christian Trucker says, I have some new ideas to work with my load numbers. Tune in on Fridays. Yep, Christian Trucker every Friday is going to go over his numbers. He has a whiteboard, just like Jeffrey. But I believe he was doing it first. So, Christian Trucker was. He gives you his numbers, and he'll tell you how he ran the Schneider program. And again, he's got a Schneider finance truck. So, and he's running the Southeast, which is usually not the best paying freight when it comes, compared to the Midwest. So, but he knows how to work the system. So if you want to learn something about how to really run the Schneider program, Christian Trucker's got some really good videos, and he's put out some good content. Alaskan Cowboy says she deleted all of her social media. I'm way behind set guys here. She deleted all her social media because it was not true of the allegations. And that's a shame, because she got caught up in this whole YouTube thing just by association. There are people that don't like me simply because they've seen me in Will's feeds or in Ike's feeds, or they see me on Zello. And that's sad that she had to be, the victim in all this. So, and like I said, I was at the show, but beyond the 73 Lounge, Pale Rider and TK and Big Billy were the only ones that really hung out. And Russ, Harold, Yukon, we hung out for a minute, but after the show at night, all those guys went off and did their own thing. They didn't even come to the main trucking parking area. And so I don't know if the allegations are true or not. And personally, I don't care, because it's not my thing. It's not my place. So, and that sucks that she had to be a victim of that. I will commend Coach for standing up for his principles about it, but I think there's more to it than he's admitting. Yeah, Michael Dow, one can only know. I mean, one can only, assume, because, you're never going to get the whole story about any of this stuff, whether it be any of them. You're not going to get the whole story. Larry Fisher, I can't stand soaps. Yeah, the stuff in YouTube is more like it's a combination of soap opera and wrestling. So, all right, Orion, take it easy. Alaskan says, Steve, I really like their videos, and I'm doing content that is drama-free. I'm just me sharing my life. That's the best way to do it, Alaskan. That's the best way to do it. That's how Christian Trucker does it. That's how Pale Rider does it. That's how, that's how it should be done. Just, hey, how do you run your business? How do you run your truck? How do you slide tandems? That kind of thing. And that's how it should be done. Are you going to get like 5,000 subscribers by next year because of it? No. I mean, look at Dread Pirate. He doesn't put one bit of good information out there, but yet he's got 5,000 subscribers. He's got 3,000 more than I do. And for what? You know, my wife's laughing because I showed her 5 videos. That's how he started. He goes, "Hey!" So, you know, you gotta love the guy though. He's doing some right because he's got more subs than I do. So, you know, it just goes to show you what people watch, right? Michael Dallas says, thinking about starting one as well, but I don't have the time. It's a lot of work running my business. You make a good point, Michael Dow. That's why a lot of guys just do the phone vlogs. Because it's easy to hit record, say, hey, this is what I did today, and then you upload it to YouTube and you're done. You hit the share button, you're good to go. He never charged me for any of that. I only bought his video about the MC number. Am I that far behind in the comments, guys? Bye, Kristen Trucker. Bree says, you're right again, Steve. One needs to be more positive. Too much negativity, right? It's all digital noise, people. Everybody's subbing to Alaska. Also, check out Adam B. He just put up one video. And he's going to talk about the Snyder program. If you're curious about Snyder, think about starting a vlog. MC is set up kind of different. It's me and my brother. We plan on running a week each solo, and then 2 weeks as a team, 21 days, and so we're still learning how we want to run. That'd be informative. Hopefully in a year we will have our own 2 separate trucks. Maybe your new nickname should be Yoda. No. Nothing against Yoda, but I don't want no Star Wars copyright infringement on my channel. Steven Tucker, talk about practical miles compared to zip code miles. All right, let's talk about that, Steven. If you run the Southeast, okay, this is, you know, like, for example, if you're going to pick up in Arkansas, practical sometimes is not that practical. And you're going to be doing a lot of out of route miles. Certain areas you're going to be doing a lot more out of route miles. Most companies pay zip code to zip code. And that's how it kind of should be done because, well, it depends. Like Dallas has like 20 zip codes, okay? So you can literally pick up and deliver in Dallas, okay, right? But you could be looking at a 30-mile deadhead. I think that if companies really wanted to, they should pay hub miles. And when you're keeping track of your numbers, I do all miles driven in that truck. So like if I come home, let's say I'm under a load, okay? And I drop my trailer in the secure lot, and I come home, and then I go back and get the trailer, or I had to go to the shop and then go get the trailer. All those miles I count. So like 2 identical loads that pay the same exact money on the revenue, they might pay differently per mile because I ran maybe 10, 15, 20 more miles because I had to go back and forth inside Springfield. So, and that, you know, because anytime you turn that key on that truck, it's costing you money. Plain and simple. And if you really want to look at it, just having it sit out in your driveway is costing you money. So, you know, you got practical miles and highway, was it Household Movers Guide? And the Household Movers Guide can sometimes be a 20, 30, 40 mile difference. You know, for example, perfect example is this. Let's say you want to go from Joplin, Missouri to Dallas, Texas. Or no, let's say Fort Worth, okay? You can either take 44 to 69, 75 then cross over 82 to 35, or you can just take 44 to 35 in Oklahoma City. Now, if you go 44 to 35, that's like 60 more miles, yet it's only 2 minutes slower than if you go down 69 that has all the traffic lights and everything. So, but you're not getting paid those 60 miles. And Schneider is bad about, like, there are times when I'll put in a 125 mile radius, and I'm like, oh, this looks like a good load. And then I'll Google it, and it's actually like 200 miles away. So, you know, unless I go through the creek and the river and you know, crash through a barn, you know, it's not going to be no 125 miles. So, if you're running a business, you want to keep accurate numbers. Odometer miles, that's all I do. And I like Christian Trucker, he told me how he runs his miles. It was a pretty good method. But I do mine where I write down the beginning odometer, the odometer after the deadhead's done, and then the odometer at the end of the load. And I just keep that up. Cobra asks, shippers and receivers tick you off. How do you stay calm when it comes to this? Sometimes I don't. I think that when you make a truck payment, it's a little bit easier to kind of deal with. There was a shipper in Ohio that ticked me off enough that because they didn't have the product ready and they were going to play the same game. So I called Snyder and said, hey, can I be taken off this load? And they're like, yep. I said, because they don't have the product ready. So that makes it a lot easier. I'm not always the calmest when it comes to the shippers and receivers. Perfect example, the shipper I picked up in Aurora. Everybody was miserable. There was a line out the door on drivers checking in, and the trailer area was a mess, and it was difficult backing into the spot, and it was just like so much negativity. And you know, I'm more even keeled about it now, but I'm not always. But you know, here's the thing: you got to retain a level of professionalism. You know, there was a load I was picking up when I was with Landstar in Muskogee, or no, it was Pryor, Oklahoma, and there was a Schneider dedicated Family Dollar guy that was just literally screaming at the top of his lungs with the lady in the office. And I imagine he might have gotten fired over that. It got ugly. You don't ever want to be that. You know, because like if you're in the spot market, if a broker knows that you know you're that kind of person, they won't want to deal with you. And at Landstar, you'll get blacklisted. You won't have any agent that will want to work with you. So, but it's hard sometimes. You got to play almost politics. You know, like when I go in and I'm like, hey, you know, I'll lie to them. I'll sit there and I'm like, hey, you know, my dispatcher was kind of wondering, you know, how much longer because, you know, whatever. You know, you don't sit there and go, well, you need to tell me how much longer it's going to take. You don't want to do that. You want to go in there and say, hey, my dispatcher kind of wanted to know, you know, in a way I'm not lying because I'm the dispatcher. So, you know, like how much longer or what the problem is. You know, there are times when I've done this. I've gone in there and said, hey, I was wondering if I did something to make you guys mad. And they're like, well, no, why? I was like, well, I've been at the dock for 8 hours. And I didn't know if I did something wrong or if I didn't slide my tandems right or, you know. No. You know, so, you know, you get what you give. So that's how I deal with that. Steve, you hit it on the head. People who talk crap about a company they were at or are usually have something to do with, yeah. Sorry, I didn't read that right. I'm trying to get through these comments because we're at an hour and a half, and I think I'm way behind. Snurl or anyone else, is Low Mountain a good place to get a truck? Any others that you would recommend? Russ Maynard, if he comes in here, he bought his truck from Low Mountain. There was a person in my orientation that bought a truck from Low Mountain. Low Mountain is designed for people with very little or no credit. you're going to have some money to get one of their trucks. But I have not heard anything bad about Lone Mountain. I looked into them, but they're wanting a little bit too much information as far as like my taxes and stuff like that, and the amount of money that you pay over there. It's a good option if your credit's not that great. But you're gonna have to have like $5 to $10 grand down for a decent truck. So. Sorry, guys. Johnny P says, I like your common sense, Lord. Thank you. TJ retracted some message. G Daddy, thank you. Thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate it, sir. I know Jeffrey's helped you quite a bit. TJ says, a lot of 2 working parent families raise kids for less than $50K a year. Angel Pool says, very good points. I like a statement that was said to me not too long ago. The company doesn't make the driver makes the company. That's correct, Angel. Cobra. You guys are being weird. Alan Bequette, how's it going? Mr. Arturo, where do you park your truck and trailer during home time? Can you leave your personal vehicle at the Schneider Yards for long-term parking? I think you can on the personal vehicle. Depends. I don't live near a terminal, so I don't know that 100%, but I know guys that do. Where I park my truck is usually at home. My trailer is in a secured lot. That's all I'll say about that. Bree says, live feeds from you, a good conversation. Yeah, I was looking forward to this. I like these Saturday Night Live. Someone said, a couple of people said, hey, do your Saturday Night Live thing. I'm like, all right, cool. F2X Smart, the 8. Yep. Alaskan says, yes, you can leave your personal vehicle at the OC. Bree says, record a video about your learning experience and how it sounds, and how to sounds good, or how to, yeah. I know what you're saying there, Bree. Trucker Eric, what's up? I got to meet Trucker Eric there at GATS. He was there for a brief minute. Live feeds from you are awesome because I get all my questions answered, and very well, too. I'm trying, Mr. Arturo. I'm trying. Alaskan says, 63 subs, and I'm grateful for all my subscribers. Without them, my channel ain't nothing. Sorry, guys. I'm trying not to cuss on the channel because monetization thing. Larry Fisher's leaving. Good night, dude. I'm on Schneider Company side till next June, then I'll make the switch to IC. Yeah, so Alaskan Cowboy, he can tell you the company. I get a lot of questions about the Schneider Company side, and I can't answer them because I never worked that side. I've only worked for one company as a company driver, guys, and that was Transland out of Stratford, Missouri. And they were good to me. They're a small carrier, 150 trucks. They're wanting to expand. They just opened up a terminal in St. Louis. And I had no issues there. I got along with my dispatchers, and they still like me over there. And I've been kind of consulting them on some of the owner-operator stuff they want to enter. Zip code to zip code, you'll lose about 30 to 40 miles off actual miles, but most companies allow you 10% out of route. Schneider pays zip to zip. Yeah, it just depends on how your company's set up. If you're a company driver, when you do your trip plan and use Google, use your actual miles. Sometimes it works better. Like, I used to deliver at that Bass Pro Distribution Center in Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia is actually not, it's about, 15 miles or 10 miles more south. So you actually, if you're coming north to south, you're actually making a little bit, extra. You guys talk about Snyder. Ryan Clark says, got to have a year recent OTR too. I got my credit denied. Okay, we're talking about trucks. Sorry, Steve. It's Bree for short for Brian. Oh, Bri. Okay, not Bree. Okay, sorry, Brian. There we go. I was kind of wondering about that. You know, as I went back and forth. Ryan Clark. I go to Green Bay October 9th to start. Ryan Clark, are you doing a company or IC? Heath Close says, looks like I'm late to the party. There's no party here. As soon as I get caught up, I will reimburse you, Berger, and Mr. Like for the knowledge, help, and motivation in some kind of way. That's cool. Hey, I'm actually caught up. All right, Ryan, I see. Okay, so I'm trying to remember his name. John. He's this Irish dude. He's the one that's going to lead your class. He's a cool dude. He's no nonsense, but he's a cool dude. Don't let their trip planning aspect of orientation confuse you. I have a simple formula for my trip planning, and they want to complicate it. So you get a dry erase pen and this little tool of this logbook thing, and it got kind of involved, and I'm like, just do your 2 hours BS room and you're good to go. Heath Close says I might be in Green Bay tonight as well for IC. Well, that's cool. You guys be in the same class. I was a guy who asked you about Alabama the other day, freight-wise. Oh, okay, Ryan. Yeah, Christian Trucker can tell you more about the South stuff. I think I picked up one load in Alabama since I was here, and I barely remember it because I was trying to get home for a funeral. So it was kind of like not all there. Jeff helped me out with that. That would be the third. See, here's the important part with you new guys. Okay. Network, make friends in the orientation class. Make friends here on YouTube. You know, I network with like, for example, if I want to go to California, I've got Russ Maynard I can call. If I want to go to the Southeast, I've got Christian Trucker I can call. If I want to go to Pennsylvania and those points, I got Steve Berger I can call. If I want to go to Ohio and that stuff, I've got Jeff I could still call because he still knows a lot of the customers, and then I got a friend of mine named Angel. He can help me with all the Ohio stuff, and it's good to network. You know, everybody says, "Oh, the difference between Landstar and Snyder is you can't network at Snyder." Yeah, you can, because you can get in good with the shippers. Like, there's a shipper here in Springfield. I can call him up personally on his cell phone. Say, hey, is that load? I'm there to pick up a load today or tomorrow. Can I pick it up today? And he'll say, yeah. And Snyder doesn't have a rule about picking it up early, so I'm good to go. So that saved me some driving. So you can network. You can get in good with your customers because you're giving them a service. But then network with the other drivers. You know, be friends with the driver that is running a different region. So when you got to change things up, you'll know who to avoid and who the good loads are, who the good customers are. Like, for example, you know, Christian Trucker did a load from Dallas to New Orleans. And he called me up. He goes, hey, you do a lot of loads out of Dallas. Have you ever done Dallas to New Orleans? And I said, no, not for Snyder. And he's like, well, okay, well, I'll tell you how it is. He calls me up the next day. He's like, don't do it. Because the customer in New Orleans was just, you know, there was something convoluted going in there. And so now I know that if I see a load in Dallas, since I'm there a lot, that goes to New Orleans, I'm not going to pick it because, you know, there are certain things that Christian Trucker told me about. Psst, hey, cat's on the lizard cage there. Or was. Is she not there anymore? So yeah, network. Make friends. Be buddies. You know, a friend of mine went with me to my orientation, and we live in the same area, so we were constantly comparing loads and comparing the load boards, and that's why I know that the whole Snyder ICs that are SFI guys and the guys that own their own trucks see two different boards. I know that's BS because my friend and I were looking at the same stuff all the time, And he had an SFI truck and I didn't. So, but network, make friends, be buddies. So, all right, guys, this video has gone on long enough. My voice is getting tired. I'm getting thirsty. And I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for checking out the vlog. My GoPro is right there. The music that was used in that vlog, with the exception of the very intro, it's a band called Super String Theory. It's a friend of mine. He has been voted the best guitar player in Springfield. And he is actually one of the top guitar players I know of all time. So, with that being said, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. See ya.